What's up, everybody? Happy Superman Day. Look, I even broke out the hat, even though the hair is still wild and cannot be contained by it. Uh, as you can see, I'm not Nancy. This isn't Friday Night Live or Comics Unlimited. We decided, since Nancy was taking the night off for her and Don to go to church and everything. What's up, Mick? Too? Uh, why don't we do a Superman Day show? And we'll have a Superman Day after show tomorrow on the Hydrasylum channel. So this is also a good chance to give everybody's wallets a break from all the sales shows during the week. So I got a couple of guests with me. We're going to show off hauls. We're just going to talk Superman, talk with the chat. It's going to be a little different because we are on the EXP. So I'm in StreamYard, so I won't have the chat on screen like I normally do. But still going to be a good time. And see y'all in just a second.
We talk about everything that makes us hum. Hail Hydrasylum, hail Hydrasylum. From trailers, comics, news, and more, we'll give you what you're looking for. Hail Hydrasylum, hail, 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 hail Hydrasylum.
Okay, first of all, I got to say it's nice not having to listen to the end of the song to switch to the next screen. It is nice that we just pop on. What's up, everybody? We got Sean, we got Nope, we got Triple B, we got a full house tonight. How y'all doing?
Yeah, we got Clark Nope. That's who that is.
Yo, what up, everybody? How you everybody doing on this great Superman Day, man? Can't wait to get done with this. I'm gonna go maybe watch, I don't know, Superman 2 or Man of Steel. Got the Blu-rays up there, man. So
You're feeling Superman 2. You want General Zod. You want the OG
Zod.
General Zod. Yeah.
That's true. Very interesting. Have you ever seen the Donner cut of that movie?
That's what I got up there.
Oh.
I got the DVD. Well, the old ones are just the DVD, but I got the Blu-ray of Man of Steel. But yeah, I got the Donner cut, and it's a little bit longer, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, a little bit. Some different scenes, different ways different way that Lois finds out Clark is Superman. Yeah,
Oh.
I love that cut.
Anybody else other than us? Did y'all grab anything? Head to a store?
Yeah, you remember that book you were talking about a couple months ago, Jay? The Superman Smashes the Klan.
Yeah.
I picked it up, so that's what I'm reading after we get done here and all that. So I'm gonna jump into that. So,
Dude, that's it's such a good book. Like the suit in that, man, I love how the suit looks in that. Very, very manga inspired.
mhm.
Superman. Oh, it's an awesome story.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it. I was actually really excited when I seen it in the LCS. I went, Jay was talking about that. Yoink.
Yes. Yes.
Nice.
So, what we'll start off with. So let me move Sean over here real fast. So when I heard it was Superman Day on Friday, I was like, oh, cool. I don't have to start, getting ready for work till like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then Cal's like, hey, can you work Friday, the FOC show? I was like, yeah. And at first I thought, we'll just go Saturday, for Superman Day. And then I thought about it. I was like, the FOC show ends at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That'd give me 3 hours. I think Sean and I can make it. We went to The Adventure Begins was the first place we stopped. That's in Conroe, right, Sean?
Magnolia.
Magnolia. Okay. Got a couple things there. Entered a contest. We both got entered into a contest.
Which they're probably live now doing the drawing.
True. I have to catch that later.
Yeah.
And then we ended up going to another LCS closer to us called Fat Ogre. So, Sean, why don't you I'll start you off with this. Let me make sure I got the right.
All right. So the cool part about what Adventure Begins was doing was literally everything in the store for Superman was 20 or 30% off for pretty much anything.
25.
25. And then back issues were up to 90. Unfortunately, we didn't really find any back issues, but they also had some really cool free Superman Day stuff. So I'm going to show that off first. So we've got Superman for All Seasons, which Jay also got this, and they were nice enough to give us 2 copies of each. This is kind of cool because I haven't read this, but everybody talks about it. It's issue like a free Superman Day issue #1 of All Star Superman. So I'm kind of curious to see because this is what Gunn is semi basing his thing off of, right? A little bit.
Yeah, he's pulling from a lot of different sources, but that's kind of one of the big ones.
Okay. Now this one I don't know what to expect, but this is called Jimmy Olsen's Super Cyclopedia. I really don't know what to expect from this one, so I'm very curious. But my big pickup was one that even Jay kind of ooh and ahhed over this when the guy pointed it out, but it's a 2025 edition of Superman Unchained.
Nice.
I think the difference that we learned when we got home between this one and the one Jay has, there's actually original uncolored pages in the back of this, along with cover art from Jim Lee. Like all of Jim Lee's covers are in the back of this thing. So it's actually pretty cool to see. I've not read this story, but everybody who talks about this says that this is like one of the best Superman stories ever. So, and it's Scott Snyder and Jim Lee, so I'm totally hooked on that one. But this was my big Superman game. Was that? It was not even $35.
Yeah,
for limited edition hardcover, so that was hard to argue with.
Yeah.
Then hold on.
Yep, go ahead.
It is not Superman related, but I did get 2 more comics from there. Let me see what Nope and Triple B think of this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
I've got
Justice League and Sonic. So I was like, I'm curious to see what this is going to be all about. And then, either of you guys Moon Knight fans?
I watch TV show, but I don't know a whole lot about the comics and stuff.
Okay.
I like
I've heard the runs the last couple of years are good, so I mean, kind of hard to pass up on a
Scotty Young right there.
So I grabbed
That's
this.
nice.
I'm actually excited to read it. So this was everything I got from Adventure Begins. So I'm like all of us here. I mean, we're all Scotty Young fans. This was too good a cover to pass up on. So
Yeah, I got a pretty good Scotty Young collection, and not books that I've read, but just those covers. So that's sweet.
yeah, I try to get a good Scotty Young cover anytime I can, especially, I got turned on to him because Jay and Jenna had me read I Hate Fairyland.
Yeah.
That was my introduction to his world, and so I've been kind of hooked ever since.
It's coming back
Jay.
too.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
All right, Jay. Bust it
All
out,
right.
man. What you
So
got?
first, I just wanted to show off because So here's what mine looks like.
Nice.
Now the funny thing is when you
That's huge.
it's mainly just dust covers. The books themselves look exactly the same.
Yeah, whoop, there we go.
It's just a straight black book like that.
Yeah.
Mine's
Make
just thicker.
Make 2, we will be talking about Daredevil. Since Triple B, and it's totally fine. Triple B has been doing some amazing Daredevil reviews, episode by episode ones. So if you haven't checked out Triple B's channel, here in a little bit I'll find his link. I'll drop it in the chat. Check out his reviews, man. I got it glowed on Triple B just a little bit, dude. Your reviews are just amazing, dude. Great work.
Yeah, thank you, man. I just try to talk about it real quick as a fan, and because usually I'm yelling at the mic because I'm so excited about some of it and just want to get it out. But a little bit of spoilers in there. Got to do episode 9, but episode 9 was anticipation for the next season. That's all it was, man.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even seen 7, 8, or 9 yet.
Oh, that's
Nice.
oh man. See, that's when they get really, really good. Those
I know,
last 3
it's
episodes are
killing me.
amazing.
I'm trying to think of what I haven't
Elsewhere
seen.
this weekend, so we ain't watching it.
6, 7, 8, 9, I guess is what I haven't seen.
Oh, you're in for a treat, man.
Yeah.
Watching those
I may
all
just
together.
I may just go right to 9 for tomorrow night so that we can at least talk about it.
Yeah. So much
I
like
don't know, you got to
Sean,
watch 8. You got to watch 8. 8 was top notch.
Okay.
8 and 9 feel like they all kind of feel like to be continued, but especially the end of 8 You
Mhm.
really got to watch 8 to appreciate what's going on in 9.
Okay, I can
So,
do that.
just
Thanks,
like
mate,
Sean,
Oh
got
yeah.
that All-Star Superman, well, of course, to
Oh.
go with my that I've had for a little while. Again, I'll say this: the parts that he's pulling from this, I think are gonna work for me. It's just the kindness and stuff like that. Not my favorite Superman story, but still not bad. I still enjoy it. Let's see. Then again, this is something I have never read Superman for all seasons, so I'm pretty sure after I read this, I'm going to be grabbing that hardcover or whatever I could find. And then again, the Super Encyclopedia. Very interested to read this, and it includes a preview of the Superman graphic novel. Not sure which one, but I also picked up something I've been looking forward to for quite some time, and that is the Summer of Superman special.
Where's the
It's,
Supergirl cover?
dude, I couldn't find it.
Dude, you cannot find it. Dude, I went on the Bays of Eve, you know what I'm talking about? They're going for like freaking $30, man, the higher, up to $50. I was like, holy crap. So I wanted to go ahead and pick up one of those on my online LCS, sold out. I went to go, like, you can get a want list on that. Over 100 people's already clicked on that want book. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, I'm gonna go on ease, and nope. I was like,
Yeah,
I guess I missed out on that one. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe in a few months the FO or the FOMO will freaking, come down a little bit, but man, golly, dude. And I heard there's 3 stories in there, and I don't know that I can't remember the actor's name, but David.
Corn Sweat.
No, no,
What
the
actor?
horror actor, he wrote a story in that book, David Dokuamu or Doc something like that. He was in Last Night with the Devil.
Oh, you mean David DeSmulchin?
There you go. I can't pronounce his last name, but yeah, so he wrote a story in that one.
Huh? I don't see his name in here, but I haven't cracked this open. Like so far, it's I see Mark Wade, Dan Slott, Joshua Williamson. But again, I haven't cracked it open. It could.
I could have been mistaken, but it was a book that came out this week where it was a 3-parter where it was like so it might have been that I might have been mistaken, but
Definitely need to check that out though, because David DeSmulchin is not only a great actor, but man, he can write some comics. He's done a great job.
yeah, I didn't know
Is
that. I
that
didn't know
Polka
he
Dot
was-
Man?
Yeah,
Okay.
that dude's been in so many DC
Right.
projects. It's insane.
Yeah.
What was it? Dark Knight.
Yeah, he was one of the henchmen.
He's
It's
one of the
like-
henchmen. He was the first one to get the coin toss from Two-Face.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the alleyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be
I
a good.
remember that.
No, I didn't get a haircut. It's just it's Superman Day, and I'm not wearing my Superman shirt. Like Nope. Nope came prepared for this. One of the things I'm super excited about this is, and I've said this multiple times. I know Dan Slott's kind of a polarizing character when it comes to Spider-Man. He's been writing Spider-Man forever. This is Dan Slott's first time writing a Superman story. And then in a couple months, we're getting Superman Unlimited, which is Dan Slott's series he's going to be doing. So super excited about that. Ed, if you want to jump on, boss, I sent the link to the group. So if you want to jump on, by all means, jump on.
The group that I am not a part of.
Well,
Who's Sean?
you're right over there.
What's your point?
You're down the hallway.
And
Not
You want to jump on?
yeah, I wasn't in this group when I was an hour away on the other end of the city.
That's true. That's true. The last thing I got was, and I realized this is a number 6, but I really dug the cover. This is a story I'm pretty sure I've only read. Geez, I want to say the first 2 issues of it, but I got this 50th DC Crisis on Infinite Earths number 6.
That is a dope cover.
Pick that up.
Nice.
You absolutely can, Ed, if you want to. And K-pop, Katie, what's up? You're not live.
What up, K-pop?
What's up? Y'all need to go check out her channel. She is the live queen.
Yes. And then I showed off I showed off on our channel, but let me see if I can find it real quick.
What up, K-pop? How you doing?
It's on the FOC show. I was telling Matthias that I picked this up, and he goes, "That's weird because this shouldn't have been out yet." But I got this Superman 233 foil facsimile edition with the Neil Adams cover. As I was corrected by Kyle, because I don't know artists, but I know this cover. Very, very famous cover of him breaking the kryptonite chains. So,
And that wasn't supposed to be released yet?
that's what he said, but I was like, I could have sworn that the reason I got it is because Nancy showed it off on Friday Night Live, and I believe Lorena is the one that bought it.
Was that what it was? I thought that was the one we got when we went to Adventure Begins last week.
No, it was. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I got you.
He for some reason he said, "Yeah, you got the one on Nancy's." Yeah, I was like, well, maybe he was thinking of a different. There's so many foil facsimile DC books coming out, especially those oversized ones that are like that big.
It was weird. Like, I was so dead set I was going to get that Superman Flash race one, but then I just got there, and I guess I wasn't as in love with the size of it as I was last week. I would much rather have had it as a regular, I think. I am going to go back and get that Crisis one. That foil facsimile for number 11. I'm going to grab that one.
Yeah, I'm going to collect the story in such a weird way. But so I want to ask everybody, because I'll tell my story last, but what was your first like Superman thing? What was the first thing? And we'll go, hold on, there we go. This way. We'll start with Sean. Unless it was just me.
First thing that I ever saw of Superman?
Yeah.
It's the Christopher Reeve 78 movie. For sure. It was that. Basically, what is it? 1, 2, almost all of them came out before I really started watching. Then it was we got Nick at Night when we got cable. So then I got to see the George Reeves. I remember that. The show, and I started watching that all the way until it got into color. So those were my first experiences with Superman. Comic-wise, reading a comic, you were there when I bought it. It's that volume 1 I have of Superman Earth 1. Mm-hmm. And then I've got volume 2, which I still need to read. But that's a pretty cool story as well. So those were my introductions. And then, of course, like I was telling you earlier, the first comic collectible thing I ever got was somebody handed me the little cards that they used to do, and it was if anybody remembers, the electric Superman in the blue suit. So those were all my firsts when it comes to Superman.
You muted.
I sure am, because I always forget about clicking the stupid button. I think it was just called. There was like Superman Blue and Superman Red, I think is what they were called. But yeah, the blue one, if you've noticed, has been my avatar since I made my first Hotmail account. So yep. I really dig that shield. Awesome. So Triple B, how about you? How about you, man?
All right, man. Well, all right. So when my first memory of Superman, I can't remember if it was actually, the black and white George Reeves TV show that would come on, or, I was lucky enough to have HBO, when I was growing up. So watching the, General Zod, and it had to have been part 2. And so I just remember as a kid, I was so lucky. Whenever that movie would come on, I would just sit there as a kid and be in so much awe as watching Superman and just falling in love with him. And then him, I remember there was a scene with him, saving a cat out of a tree, which loved it so much. You get the scene, where they're in, in middle of town. It's at night and they're fighting each other, getting thrown against the bus, going down and into the sewer tunnels and then blowing up. I mean, all this stuff I just remembered and it just blew my mind. And then with the black and white TV show, him flying in through the window, I just remember watching these Superman characters, both of them, almost at the same time. whenever it would come on reruns or whenever the show was on, I would just sit there cross-legged in my living room as close as I can to the TV and just enjoying it. Superman gave me so much joy as a kid, made me so much happy. He made me feel like I can do anything I wanted in the world. It brought that much joy to me, and like it made me just believe in everything and how good he was. Like he was just so pure and like awesome. And it made me want to be, just a good person. And I think that's what Superman, like, and like who he is, and he's just such goodness and like was amazing. And then so like fast forward, so I was like maybe 12 or 13 years old, we get like the death of Superman. You get like this crazy ass comic book, and there's only one word, and so like it blew my mind, like what the heck, Superman's dying. And then so like, and then I fast forward, so I'm way older. There you go. I mean, I think I got like the 9th printing of that one, the actual, was it, I can't remember what, 95 or something like that. Superman, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah. And, but they had the actual trade paperback of that one. And I bought that back when that came out. And I was looking for it tonight, but I got like freaking 40 boxes over here. So I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have time to find it, but I have the trade paperback of it. Yeah, exactly. Full Dynamite books. But I have the black bag one. I got the white bag one. So they made 1 million, 3, 4 million, 50 million copies of those. But that trade paperback one is really sick because it's like shows Lois Lane holding Superman with like, it was like black blood like all over him. But then I know I grew up, time moves on, and Man of Steel came out, and like it totally passed me by like when it came out. And so like I ended up like renting that from, I think I got it from Redbox or something when it came out. And then I sat down, I was all alone, I watched it, and it freaking blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, dude, Superman's back. And like all the joy from when I was a kid, sitting cross-legged, watching him, rewatching that show as an adult, or that movie as an adult, this brought back all those emotions of Superman. So like I even like tattooed my leg with the Superman signal myself on my calf. That's how much I love Superman. So
Nice.
Yeah.
there you go.
Awesome, Ed. I'm gonna bring Ed on, Mr. Clark Van B, but we're gonna go with Nope first. But Ed, how you doing, boss?
Good. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah.
Live and well.
Happy Superman Day, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Eddie.
Up and away. Some nope.
We're gonna get Nope's first foray with Superman. Then we're gonna ask you the same question.
No, it all started with me because my dad he loved that 78 Superman as well. So as soon as I was, probably even before I can remember, he was watching it with me. So all the time, we'd watch it after he'd get off work or whatever. But then it was the animated series for me, and then Justice League, and it was more watching everything. And then later on, I think my first bulk buy of like a collection kind of thing, I bought somebody's collection for a couple $100 of like 2 short boxes of Superman. And it had, the black cover, the white cover, the Death of Superman. But it was really the only ones that I recognized when I started actually shopping around for comics in the beginning. But yeah. And I'm not as crazy about Superman as probably everybody here, but I still am super excited about this new movie coming out, and I still haven't even watched the George Reeves Superman though, but I guess we can check it out since everybody else is all about it.
No, we can still be friends, but dude, you need to do.
The one thing I will say about the George Reeves stuff, it's not fantastical like Christopher Reeve, but it works because you got to figure that show was filmed in the 50s and the 60s. So what you're getting is a perfect Superman for that era, for sure.
Which leads me to Ed. Go on, Ed. Tell us, man.
What am I telling you?
You're telling us your first foray with Superman.
Oh well, you already know.
I
It's
know.
George. On TV reruns of George as Superman, he captured my imagination. Loved him to death. Watched him all the time. And then I heard a Superman movie was coming out, and I was like, oh, "There's going to be a Superman movie." Now, keep in mind, I was just a little squeaker, and we get to the drive-in to see Superman, and it comes up, and I'm like, "Who's that?"
Who's this?
And my dad's like, "That's Superman." I'm like, "That's not Superman." And then his name came up, and I'm like, "They even got his name wrong. It's George, not Christopher." And I was mad. I can remember being legitimately mad in the car at the drive-in, thinking this was some imposter Superman. Fun story.
Did you grow to love him though, Christopher?
Love it? No, I love
No.
Superman 2. The
Yeah.
first one, the first one is okay. It don't do it for me. Superman 2 with the three villains, I'm into that one. And I don't even pretend 3 and 4 ever happened because I'm still emotionally scarred because I went to the theater and watched them both. But yeah.
Was it the Richard Pryor one? Was that 3?
That was 3. You know, that one was tolerable, but the other one made me want to cry. And not in a good way.
Oh, you didn't like Nuclear Man?
Not even a little. And it looked like a cartoon. When they were flying, the special effects got like way worse.
How did they go from, from 2 to like bad? Like, how did the special effects get worse? But I mean, maybe they're just trying to make
I don't know,
money.
because 2 was amazing.
Yeah.
I'll put that up there in my top 5 superhero movies of all time. So I don't know how they went from 2 being awesome, unless they just ran out of story ideas. Because when you have, you can't really do super fantastical things yet, and he really doesn't have many foes that make a believable threat. So maybe they just ran out of stories or something. I don't know. But the whole Richard Pryor and seeing the tar on the pack of cigarettes and I'm like, what is happening here?
What saves that movie for me, though, one of the coolest parts of that movie is the Clark Kent versus Superman in the junkyard.
Yep.
I love that scene so much. Just the fact that you got Clark being nailed into the ground like a spike. You have him thrown in a trash compactor.
Mm-hmm.
And that moment where you hear the creaking of the metal, and you're like, oh, geez, they just crushed Clark. And then, no, you realize, no, Clark's busting out of there. And then defeats evil Superman. They merge back together. And yeah, Lorena, what happened to I can't remember her name, but what happens to the sister? Because I think it was Robert Vaughn was the main bad guy in that movie, and his sister gets turned into a robot or something. Yeah, that scarred me as a kid. Now, as far as my Superman, everybody else has already said it in the chat, and Sean said it. It was the Christopher Reeves movie, and that's what shaped my love for Superman, for comics. Like it all goes back to that. And then after that, I would watch the I just said Reeves, didn't I? See, I mess myself up sometimes. I watched the George Reeves one and watched the Max. Sean and I were talking earlier about the Max Fleischer cartoons, the rotoscope. Man, I love those.
Yeah, those were those are underrated at how good they were.
Yeah, and again, I watched the animated series, the New Adventures of Superman. I watched Superboy. Any kind of Superman content I could watch, I was watching it. And Mess, welcome in for one thing. For two, I am 1,000% on board with you. It's almost like Joker and Batman for me at this point. Like Batman is supposed to have this amazing rogues gallery, but we haven't seen, except for on Gotham, we haven't seen like Professor Pig or the Ventriloquist or, some of those villains. I would love for them to do Parasite, Metallo, Mongol. Just there's that other Blastar, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Like some of those villains, I'd even like to see him fight Lobo. To be honest with you, now that we got Jason Momoa,
with those
that could
CG, with those deep fake photos that came out. But yeah,
yeah, I saw those and I was like, that. I don't think those are real. And somebody was like, no, they're not real. I was like, okay, good.
well, no, I like that. Ames's comment too, and what you're talking about, like other villains, like even with Daredevil apparently he has a ton of villains too, and like I mean, we got Muse in this one or in the new series, and so apparently a lot of these superheroes, they have a lot of different villains they go through, not just like their main ones. Of course Kingpin was in this one, but I mean, yeah, you got characters like, unless you're not like a really hardcore fan about, you don't really know who they are. And so when it goes to the movies, I mean, I guess they just want to use those main, like Lex Luthor and freaking, Zod, because and what with Spider-Man, he's going to have his main characters. We need to have a Spider-Man show up in the Daredevil series, man. That would be amazing. Let's have
that was my
Ghost
hope.
Rider too. Yeah.
That was my hope that eventually that something like that can happen, because we learned recently Kingpin can't be in the movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some kind of rights thing, like kind of like how Hulk, they can't have a solo
Universal.
Hulk movie. It's the same thing.
Wow.
No, TJ, that's on my list. The Ruby Spears Superman, that is on my list to find and watch. I've never seen that one though.
Which one is that one?
Ruby Spears Superman? I don't know. I haven't looked it up yet.
Oh.
Now, is the Kingpin thing, is that because of Sony?
That might be. I just know that Vincent D'Onofrio himself said you're never going to see. Well, I don't want to say never, but as of right now, they can't do Kingpin in the movies.
Didn't Ving Rhames do? Didn't Ving Rhames do?
No, that was Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was a good
The first one.
Yeah.
Like,
they did, but there's something about the rights now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because isn't he technically a Spider-Man villain?
I always thought that, but
Yeah.
that was because the cartoon.
Wasn't there that
Right.
Spider-Man game with Sega, and he was? I'm talk about Sega Genesis. It might even been the first Sega, but yeah, Spider-Man. The main villain was Kingpin in that one, and so, and like, where are they gonna go? Because we got the Doomsday movie, the new Avengers movies coming out. How can Kingpin fit into those movies? And you're saying he doesn't have the rights. I mean, Kingpin has the hold of New York City right now in Hell's Kitchen as the mayor, and like he's getting ready to he wants to make billions on this island. No spoiler there, Mr. Nope or Sean, because you haven't watched it. But yeah, It's like there's this little loophole that he's got going on there that we find out at the end of the series. And how can they put this Daredevil into those movies? Are they not even going to do it? I mean, are they not going to tie it in?
Charlie's going to be in the movies.
So if Charlie is, but yeah, so Kingpin can't. So it's going to be like an off, out of Hell's Kitchen, out of New York is what it's going to be.
Maybe.
No, because he's been in Spider-Man in the MCU. Or
Yeah.
no, not the MCU, but no, are the Spider-Man movies MCU?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so he was in the
Iffy.
third one.
Yeah, yes and no. It's in association with Sony Pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
so it's not actually part of the whole MCU's book of movies, you can call it. It's kind of like a subplot of it.
Oh, okay.
But they kind of, I don't know, they kind of throw it in. If
I mean,
Daredevil,
it is part of the whole MCU saga, but it's just, as far as the rights go, it's just shared with Sony.
yeah.
I hate it.
Daredevil's top villains are Bullseye and Kingpin. Hey, man, I won't take any leapfrog slander here. Leapfrog, man. What?
Well, I mean, you got to figure if Kingpin's super involved in New York, he's going to be everybody's problem.
Yeah.
So
So switch it back to Superman.
Yes. Sorry.
Before we
Sorry
make
about
this,
that.
yeah, that's true. That's true too, TJ. So do you have a favorite? Because Kyle asked me this on our Wednesday show. Watching the cartoons, do you have a? And it doesn't have to be just the regular cartoons. You could do the animated movies as well. Do you have a favorite voice actor for Superman? We'll start with Ed. Ed, do you have one?
Not off the top of my head, no.
No. Okay.
was it Tim Daly who did the animated stuff for the TV show and Justice League and all that?
There was Tim Daly, George Newbern, who I always thought they sounded very similar.
Yeah, Tim Daly would be the one that I would say for me. Otherwise, I think Jerry O'Connell did a pretty good job in a couple of the movies that he was in.
Yeah.
I forgot that he was in some of them.
Danny Dark.
Danny Dark.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
He played the voice of Superman in the Super Friends because that was my first Superman cartoon.
There you go.
So I just Googled who's Superman in the Super Friends, and he came up. I'm like, there you go, Danny Dark. Sounds good. Never heard of him before, but he was Superman.
No shame. I'm gonna have to Google stuff too. So
You Google Superman?
I
That's
would have
amazing.
believed you, Ed.
Wow.
here's what I tell people: do I love Superman? Have I loved him for 40 years of my life now? Yeah.
Have you loved him a long time?
Oh, wrong time. But I'm gonna get canceled like Henri. But I'm not an expert on Superman. I learn new things about Superman all the time, and that's one of the things that I love about comics in general. Is you think you know everything about a character, there's always something to learn about them. And I remember, as a kid, after a certain age, you're supposed to think, well, Superman's corny. Nobody can be that good. And to me, that was the thing that always drew me to Superman. So it's like, here's an alien that could, at any moment, he could just Omni-Man us all, But instead, he chooses to be a good person and use those powers to be helpful, even helping out his own enemies. Like, there's just something about that's always drawn me to him. As far as voice actors, though, mine is always split between Daly and Newbern. I did like when Mark Harmon played him in Crisis on Two Earths, which was one of the, I don't want to say first DCAU movies I watched, because there was always Mask of the Phantasm and the Sub-Zero one. But yeah, he for a movie one, it would be Mark Harmon, because it was just interesting. That or I'm thinking Matt Bomber. Matt Bomber is another one that I really, really dug. And I think he voiced Superman in Superman versus the Elite, which is Jenna's favorite DCAU movie. If y'all have never watched that one's fantastic.
I think I went and watched it on Tubi the night after you guys said something about it and said that it was on there. I was like, oh, okay.
Which one?
Superman versus the Elite.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, the Elite are from, and I can't remember the issue numbers because, again, I'm lucky I can remember the storyline. That's where the Elite first show up. Is what's so funny about Truth, Justice, and the American Way is the storyline. The Elite are basically a team of heroes that, much like the Authority, they kind of do whatever. Yeah, Manchester Black, the leader of that group. Pretty much, if you're a bad guy, they don't mind killing you. Like, they have no qualms killing folks.
Yeah.
When I read Tom Grant, I think no one. He's been around. Yeah, that's very true. It's very true. It's hard to know everything, but you know, like I said, it's just a character that I've always loved, and it's always been one of those. I never outgrew him like a lot of people did, and you know, then we got the four movies, and I like them all in their own way. Even Quest for Peace.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I just have a hard time not liking anything Superman.
Mm.
Uh,
You are very dedicated, my friend.
I could watch it because you know it's just Gene Hackman doing the voiceover of Nuclear Man,
Mhm.
Superman. It's just that cheesy, but
Mm.
that kind of cheese I like. That is a cheesy movie to me that it's so bad it's good. But Triple B, do you know any Superman voice actors? Do you have one from cartoons or anything?
No, to be honest with you, no, I don't. I probably, if I have watched one, it was a long time ago, and I don't remember.
Oh,
But
all good,
you
man.
know,
It's an off the wall question.
Who did the voice for Red Sun? Because I really loved that cartoon.
That was Jason.
Because
Isaac?
I like that one too.
Hold on a
Was it
second.
Jason? Yeah, Jason Isaac maybe.
Yes,
Isaac's.
And if
yes.
y'all haven't seen or read Red Sun, you really need to. It's an awesome.
I've seen it.
story.
I haven't read the comic though, but that movie, the animated movie, was amazing. But yeah, Jason Isaac's Russian portrayal was awesome. For me, it's Tim Daly's kind of hard to go against, and George, but I was a big fan of how Jerry did him in the several movies that he did it for the DCAU run
Yeah.
as well. And because I still like Justice League War, that's still one of my favorites. Like him walking up to what is it, Batman? And he goes, "What can you do?"
mm,
So, and then the cockiness. Can any of us even breathe in space? I can.
Yeah.
Jerry's done a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, and that's something that was always in the back of my mind watching, you know, again, Superman Returns, loved it. Unapologetic. I loved it. Granted, I could have used a little more action in it, but again, I loved it. But seeing how people didn't like a lot of the stuff that, you know, from Superman Returns to Man of Steel to the DC EU stuff, there's always the part in the back of my mind that was like, you know, it feels like you guys had the blueprint with your animated movies because the animated movies were always,
yeah.
you know, pretty well regarded. So I don't know. That's just it's just
Man,
a weird thing to me.
I dug the Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut one
Mhm.
was absolutely amazing. I know it was like what 4.5 hours long or whatnot. It was.
Right.
I love that thing. I think I put that movie on like the top 3 of superhero movies for me because I don't know. I didn't even watch the Josh Whedon one where Zach had to step away because of personal family issues, and then was it Whedon came in. I didn't even watch that one. I waited and watched the one that came out on HBO. I thought that thing was amazing, dude. And like when I don't know the whole black box thing. They did everything just right in it. People, I mean, I think Wonder Woman was awesome. I think, Gal Gadot gets a lot of bad rap with her acting, I guess. I never really felt anything about it. I just thought she was super hot and she did a damn good job. The whole Flash thing where he's trying to run around Superman and like, oh my God, he can see me. And like Superman just slowly turns his head as Flash is trying to run around. Amazing, dude. I don't know. I think they did it right in that. And I'm not a big DC guy. Like I love Superman as I was a kid, like I told y'all earlier. But I never really followed all the comic books and all the storylines. Like I guess more of a Marvel guy during that time period. And then now more of more of a horror type of comic book reader. But man, I thought that movie was amazing, and I don't know, dude. And like it still just brings my love back to Superman because how I love Henry Cavill as Superman. Like I was like, oh, he has the part, he looks the part, He acts the part. He's so cool. So I'm just hoping David Cornsweet can, give us that feeling of, okay, yeah, this is our new Superman. And, from what I'm seeing, he has the look, and like, he's a good actor. He was really good in Pearl. He did get taken down by Pearl with a freaking pitchfork, but, it's good. So like, I have super high hopes for where Superman's going. And I think like everybody in the world, we need a Superman. Like that's everybody. I mean, he's in songs, he's in rap songs, he's in country songs, he's in all sorts of songs. We need a freaking Superman, man. So let's do it. It's about time that like in 2025, let's rock and roll with a new good Superman movie, man. Real.
100%. To answer a mess.
Yes. Go ahead.
Let me tell you, I have no idea. But
very hot.
He did get kind of another shot at it, but he played Kingdom Come Superman in the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths, a 5-part crossover, I think it was.
Yeah.
He got to play Kingdom Come Superman. That suit was awesome. For me, I wouldn't say it was a redeeming thing because I thought his Superman was great. But for a lot of folks that weren't real high on him for Superman Returns, him playing Kingdom Come Superman kind of turned them around on him. And they're like, man, now I kind of want a Kingdom Come Superman movie with Brandon as Superman.
Same suit.
Eve Torres, yes, Steve Vendetta. Absolutely. TJ, I got to agree with you.
Steve.
I got to agree with you. Wonder Woman 1.
Yeah.
It was, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that one. Oh, man. 1984, Wonder Woman 84, I have no idea what they were trying to do with that one. Like, that's one I could say that I wasn't, like, I can watch it, but it's definitely not one that I would be like, no, this was the best, one of the best movies that came out at the time, because it wasn't.
I don't think they knew what they wanted to do with that one.
No.
They didn't. And that's the only one I've seen. I still haven't gone back and watched the first one.
Yeah, but I got to agree with you, Triple B, on the Snyder Cut. I was one that saw Justice League the night of Justice League Day. We had gone to Space Cadets, Miss Jen's shop. She had Jim Lee and Dan, I can never say his name, Didio. They were there doing signing for Houston Strong for the hurricanes that had been happening in Texas. So got to meet Jim Lee and Dan. They were both fantastic people, by the way. Went and watched it. I really liked it. I did like the theatrical cut of Justice League. When Max said that they were doing this 4-hour cut, I was like, okay, I'm down. I'm gonna watch it. And we watched it, and there was a big part of me that was like, man, if you take out some of the slow-mo, I gotta say that part.
Come on, man.
Way too much slow-mo. I like some of it, but some of it was just a little too much.
I love Zack Snyder's slow-mo. Sucker punch, dude.
True. I like the movie, and people were like, well, it's the same movie. And I'm like, no. If you think this is the same movie, you just didn't want to watch this to begin with. It's kind of like how I feel about when they released the 5-minute behind the scene, or not 5 minutes, the behind the scenes stuff today, and I reacted to it. The first thing that I said was, look, if you're already down on this movie, if you're not excited for the Superman that's coming out this year, this isn't going to change your mind about it. And it was the same thing that I thought with Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you're already down on Snyder, down on the DCEU stuff, I'm like, this isn't going to change your mind. You're just not going to like it. I said the same thing when they cast Ben Affleck as Batman. Okay? I was a person that when they cast Heath Ledger as Joker, I loved Heath Ledger. All his movies, huge fan. But I was like, I don't think this dude. I don't think he could pull off Joker. After him, I have never again said an actor can't play a role. Now, Pedro Pascal has some. I love him too. He's got to prove to me his Reed Richards, but when it comes to they cast Ben Affleck and people are like it's going to be terrible. My first thought was, if you don't like Ben Affleck as an actor, you're not going to like him as Batman. Like, plain and simple. I try to go into these movies with a clear slate. Was I mad? Like, again, Kyle and I talked about this. Was I upset when I heard Henry Cavill wasn't going to be Superman anymore? Yeah, because I wanted a James Gunn directed Henry Cavill Superman movie. I wanted Brainiac. I wanted them to not, go back and pull people we've already used 100 times. I was like, man, we're going to get Brainiac. We're going to get this. We're going to get that. I got over it. I'm excited for this movie. I'm not going to judge it until I watch it. And, and watching this behind the scenes stuff and going to Lorena's point there, the way Metamorpho looked, dude, Metamorpho looked so good. That looks pulled straight out of a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
And
it looks practical too.
Yes, that's the thing that I love. That's here's the thing about the Thing. Just say that real quick.
Yeah.
I missed the Michael Chiklis. I understand he didn't look anything like the comics. He didn't look like the cartoons, but there's something about the practicality of it.
They look real though.
Yeah, it endeared me to that to his version of the Thing.
Yeah, me too.
But man, like just seeing, I didn't know the robot was real. The robots, yeah, they're going to be CGI'd in places, but in that behind the scenes, if y'all haven't watched it yet, they show that the robots are actually there. The robots from, oh my goodness, dude, when I saw that, I was like, okay, I know there's going to be CGI on top of whatever. I thought the whole thing was CGI. I didn't think they were actually there. So seeing that was really cool. So far, well, the newest trailer kind of shows Reed's power.
I thought that was cool. I kind of saw what I thought about when they showed Reed like kind of stretch and he kind of jumped over. I'm like, no, that looks cool. I'm like, I like that instead of him like stretching his arm out, freaking 400 feet, 400 yards. I thought that was kind of cool. He gave him this jumping motion and he was able to grab. I think that's cool. I thought that was cool looking. I thought the CGI looked a lot good in this one.
Well, I think that people got so used to how they did it in the Fox Fantastic Four movies that something like this kind of throws them off.
And to me, it pulled me in, is what it did. I'm like, oh, I like that. I thought that was cool looking.
And when they show Sue using her powers too, it looks good. At least she's not doing. I'll give her that. She's not doing the Jessica Alba pose. Like every time she had to, yeah. I mean, they're all doing the hand thing, but they show her using it. But they've nailed Torch. Like everything they've done for Human Torch so far, they've nailed. And then Surfer did look good too. I will definitely say that Surfer. I mean, and she sounded good, so that'll be cool.
See, and that was my hope for the trailer. My hope for the trailer was, before I go any farther, Triple B, I know you got to go, boss. Thank you so much for hopping on tonight. Hopefully, if you can hop on tomorrow too, for the regular Hydra channel, when we talk Superman and Daredevil and stuff, you're always welcome, man. You know that.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, got husband duties right now, the honeydews right now. But I appreciate you all having me on. Hear what Hydra, Mr. Nope, and Eddie Von B in the background, and so glad to be on the experience one more time. So you guys have a great show, and we'll catch you on the next time, man.
All right,
later, Triple B.
There we go. So yeah, like I had a feeling that there wasn't going to be just nothing at all released today for Superman. I was like, man, it's Superman Day. they were rumors. I took them with a grain of salt because nothing was confirmed that they might have dropped a trailer today. But they didn't. They dropped this behind the scenes thing. And watching it, my first thought was, if this doesn't get you hyped, nothing's going to get you hyped. There's nothing. You're just not into this, and that's fine. Like I knew going into when they first said that Henry is not going to be part of this new universe, I knew that put a lot of people off at the jump. But as I've always said, I'm a Zack Snyder fan. I'm a James Gunn fan. I'm a Henry Cavill fan. But more importantly than that, I'm a Superman fan. David's not going to be the last guy to play him. Henry wasn't the first guy to play him, obviously. I think Kirk Allen was the first person to play him in live action, or Alan Kirk. I always get the name mixed up. It's either Kirk Allen or Alan Kirk was the first live action.
Have you found it interesting that so far in the trailers, we really haven't heard David speak at all?
Other than the crypto.
Yeah, other than the Take Me Home thing, but just to hear what we're going to get for him as talking as Superman. Have you found that interesting that they've chosen to go that route?
It is, but the behind the scene stuff.
Yeah, he was talking there.
Yeah, the behind the scenes stuff that he's talking, I think that's the voice he's going to use. Just his regular speaking voice, because he sounds.
Yeah,
I can close my eyes and hear Superman when this dude talks.
Yeah, his normal speaking voice is close to Cavill's Superman. Just he's actually American.
I can't really put my finger on it, but there was something about that thing they released today, the behind the scenes thing, that calmed my nerves as far as, is it going to suck? Because even though I really wanted it to be good and I was really excited by the trailer, I just had this, between the suit and whatever, is it going to... And this helped relieve that. It made it look to me like it's going to work. I liked hearing Gunn saying those things about Superman and having a vision and the kind of Superman he wanted, and Superman being hope and a good guy, and they were talking about hope again. And then hearing him talk, even if it wasn't a scene, you did get to hear him talk wearing the suit. And when he was talking about the underwear on the outside, that was actually pretty funny. Oh. But after that, it calmed my nerves down about that, and I'm just ready to see it. I'm all in, and not to compare one to the other, but the Fantastic Four trailer just didn't do anything for me. I mean, it looks okay, but the Superman ones are grabbing my attention.
True, but I will say this about that for Sean at least, and I'll let Sean tell you. But Wednesday night I was like, man, I just need one more. I just need another trailer, because we got a teaser for Fantastic Four. I just would like to get another trailer. And then lo and behold, I wake up and the trailer dropped. Now, will I say that it gave me the same like goosebumps that Superman has? Well, no, I can't, because I'm not as big of a fan of Fantastic Four comics as I am Superman and Superman comics. But I see it that, I see it as folks like Lorena's already said it's been excited. And then when Sean saw my reaction to it, Sean, you go ahead and tell him what you said to me.
So, that was a couple hours later when I was at work. Finally got to watch it. I'll be the devil's advocate here, because I've said it from the beginning. I need them to give me something that got me excited to see the movie, and the teaser didn't do it. It got me interested, but I needed something, and the trailer for me actually did get me excited. I still heavily question Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, but I am great with everybody else that's been cast. Like literally everybody else in the movie so far that they've shown. But yeah, I'm excited to see both. Now, is it Superman? The freaking Donner guitar hits. like level of holy crap, my hair is standing on my arms. No, but it got me excited. So I will go see both. So, well, I know we're all going to go see both, but I'm genuinely excited. Am I more excited for Superman? Yes. Like I have not been this hyped for like. Jay, would you agree? I don't think I've been this hyped to go see a movie since the first Shazam.
That is true because when you learned that Shazam was going to be a movie, you were pretty excited.
Yeah, I was the first
So,
one up that day.
Yeah,
Somebody was like, "Hey man, you up and ready?" And I'm like, y'all come out of the room at the time and like, "Oh crap, you're already here." I'm like, "Yes, I am ready to go."
I've already made you breakfast.
yeah.
Come on.
I could have, but yeah, I was ready to go that day, and hopefully this trip will be just like that trip. I came out of that movie very happy,
Nice.
and I will miss Zachary Levi as Shazam.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
No,
Yeah,
He's
it
not
sucks.
coming back.
he did that to himself more than anything.
I guess I missed something else.
Hmm?
More drama.
Oh,
He was creating his own drama in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. Like he was reacting to things being said, and then there were things that he was reacting to that weren't even there. And then plus some of his like political views and stuff that he's done. He just he kind of did it to himself. So hopefully at some point we
Look
get
at that later.
yeah.
to
Well, I also think that they're pretty much wiping everybody. I don't other than Jolo, I think is how you say his name, Marijuana.
Sholo Marty Duenya.
Yeah,
Marijuana.
That's exactly what I heard too.
yeah,
I'm like, what?
yeah. I
Marty,
don't think they're bringing over anybody. Like I even think that we're going to end up getting a new Harley Quinn. Like I don't know
Think?
why. I just
I
don't
just
know.
hope it ain't Lady Gaga.
Mm.
Yeah,
if it,
I
it-
still have
TJ
that movie.
yeah, I want to address TJ's comment.
yeah, because I was about to do the same thing.
And I bet I'll be curious to see if you and I are on opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Mhm.
But then again, I have had like 3 minutes to mow over it. I'm not sure if I'm worried because he felt that he wanted to add 6 other people. I'm more. Yes, I would like it to be a solo movie, but I'm also happy that we're coming into a universe where it's like this, where other heroes actually exist. Because it was weird in some ways how they did the Zack Snyder stuff, where they were all so very isolated from one another. Like they were just in their cities. Granted, I know Batman doesn't really leave Gotham that much, but Superman is a worldwide thing. But they were so isolated. So at least in this, I'm happy that it's other heroes exist, and Superman's going to be a worldwide thing and known. So I'm happy that at least we're getting that in some ways, and at least it's not there. He's not giving us a lot of the same people. We're getting new, different characters we've never seen in live action before, in some ways. So
Why can't they do Hawkman and Hawkgirl at the same time? It's always one or the other. It feels like.
you know that answer, Jay. We just
Yeah.
can't say it on here.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Johnny, what's going on? And you're absolutely right. The behind the scenes look was awesome.
I saw it.
There's something like I'm a little trepidatious about there being, but I also get it about there being so many other heroes in the movie. My thought was always that James Gunn is a team movie kind of person. Like I think this was in his eyes the best way for him to do the Superman movie.
Yeah.
I don't think. Again, this was my fears when I first heard all this stuff. I don't think that those folks are going to be in the movie as much as we think they are. But I also have a theory that I floated to Sean, and I said something to it about Kyle. I don't think the movie's linear. I think where we start in this movie is Superman's beatdown. and he's taken to the fortress, and when he's hit with the rays and he's doing the screaming, we're going to fade out of that and we're going to go to like the events leading up to that part of the movie. That's just a theory that I have, just from some of the stuff that they're showing is so close to the beginning of the movie. That's just a theory I had. Yeah, it is the least amount of characters he's worked with, but again, I get why people are so like, there sure are a lot of other heroes. This feels like Justice League International instead of it being a Superman movie. But
See,
again,
I'm getting JSA vibes from it.
well, JSA, I think had Sandman, and I can't remember the entire team of the JSA, but International had like most of the characters that are in there right now.
Yeah.
But again, it is Gunn says it's a Superman movie, and I tend to believe him. Again, I'm a huge fan of his ever since Slither and the stuff he did for Troma back in the day. So again, I'll wait until I watch the movie. And again, I've said if it ends up for whatever reason, which I don't think it's going to be, but if it ends up being not for me, I just hope that it's for someone. I hope that there are new fans created. Again, though, I don't see me not liking this movie.
If you can find goodness in Superman 4, you're gonna like this movie.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, Johnny, I agree with that too. Justice League Unlimited, yeah, I agree with that too. If we didn't know most of them, probably. I mean, it is cool though that we're getting like Metamorpho in live action, like that part's really dope.
And then we've got what is it the giant star creature or whatever that is.
Starro, Starro from Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, I can't say finally because that is the second time he would be there. And then the big tease of it looks like one of the other big things that's showing up is Brainiac's going to be somewhere in there.
Where did you see Starro in this?
Is that not Starro, the big alien thing he's fighting outside when him and Lois are in the apartment? What is it?
That's either Solaris or Solaris, which is part of the story in All-Star Superman, or it could be a Brainiac ship that it just got a weird design to it.
Oh, okay. That's my bad.
No, I mean, again, it's hard to base, what a thing is after seeing, only seeing it for like half a second. So, yes, Johnny, we talked about that earlier. I was like, you have no idea how shocked I was when he high-fived the robot and he was actually touching the robot. Like I was just no way. And then when they did the almost full body of Metamorpho and how great he looked. Like,
is there anybody in the movie that you feel like
you've redacted so many comments?
Is there anybody in the movie that y'all feel like needs to prove themselves a little bit? Like, let's just take David out of that combo, because I know that's a lot. But is there any other characters that y'all think need to really kind of show you that, okay, yeah, that was a good choice? That Jay knows where I'm going when I give my answer. So I'll let Nope and Eddie answer first.
I don't know the actor's name, but for me, the character's Lex Luthor. There's got to be a good Lex Luthor for it to work well.
So fun to watch. You're right.
Yeah. I was excited to see Metamorpho just because we've only gotten a face shot so far, but I really like that actor ever since I seen him in Gotham. So to see him in something bigger is awesome because that guy's funny. Even though he's, probably not having a comedic role in this movie, but he made me laugh all the time in that Gotham show.
Oh, dude, his Zaz was awesome.
Hilarious.
He was also in Flash.
What was he in Flash?
The Mist or something like that. Earlier episodes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in the Flash for an episode.
Okay,
He was
yeah.
one
I
of those
mean,
villains of the
9
week,
seasons.
so, yeah.
They were cranking out so many different villains at one point in time. It was getting so repetitive, so I can see how it was missed.
Yeah.
And I'm the same as Eddie. I like Nicholas Hoult as an actor. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I thought his young Beast that he did was actually really good. Him as Lex though is, I'm just curious. Now, and it's weird because like I wasn't sure what to think about Michael Kudlitz coming in, even though I love that dude, and he ended up being like, for me right now, my favorite on-screen Lex. Oh, and a lot of that's because I haven't watched really a lot of Smallville yet, so I don't have the Michael Rosenbaum experience there. But I'm hoping that he surprises the heck out of me. But he's the one that has to win me over a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's one of the things that I'm hoping I can get over because I love Cudlitz so much that to give somebody another shot, am I going to be able to see Lex in him right away? Because my God, he was
I'm gonna have
amazing.
see, and I'll have to take it out because Kudlitz's Lex was so different than every other. Like he really made it his own kind of character.
Oh yeah.
This was not. I'm a superior intellect. I'm smarter than you. Bow at my feet to my to his brain power. This was a very raw. Kudlitz was very raw, very real, and if you think about it, he's very grounded. Which that whole show did a decent job of doing that. It was fantastically grounded, but Holt. I'll be curious to see if they go back to that kind of more classic take of him or not. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it there.
Oh, you're good. You're good, man. And Lorena says Lois Lane, which Rachel Brosnahan. Jenna was a fan of Marvelous Miss Maisel, so I got to see a little bit of her. I think she's going to be
She was great in that
fantastic.
show.
Yeah, I
She
think she's going to be fantastic. And Johnny, I wouldn't say. Here's the thing: when people say Snyder fans, I'm a Snyder fan. Again, love the DCEU stuff. I don't have a problem with the dog at all. Like Crypto, it doesn't
Crypto's
matter.
all CGI. There's no real dog he's based off of.
Well, I think it's supposed to be kind of based off James Gunn's dog.
Yeah.
Okay. What I mean there is there's not a dog anywhere on set. Like Crypto is all CGI.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all CGI.
Okay, well then, I got to give. I want to know then how they did the scene with him and David then, because David's acting about being trampled on by him was spot on, and then let alone the getting his foot dragged up, how they did all that.
Yeah.
So kudos to David for that. Anybody and all the people that griped about that, it's like, yeah, dog doing that when you're hurt, blah blah blah. I was like, no, that is the most real thing in the world. When you come in and you're just beat down, you're dog tired or hurt or something like that, and your dog jumps on you because they don't know yet. They just want to play. It takes them a second to figure out.
Or you're sleeping.
Yes.
They want breakfast.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, you're still sleeping. Get up. Come on, what are you doing?
It's the most real thing in the world. It's like, no, you people do that, don't own dogs. When your dog is just excited to see you, it doesn't matter how you're feeling. They're excited to see you. So it's like, that's the most real thing. So, okay. I didn't know that Crypto was all CGI and stuff. So then more props to however they did that. I'm sure they probably did somebody like poking him or something, but even still.
Yeah. And
Johnny balls on a chair.
Yeah. Johnny, 100%. Put the people out in the Arctic cold. Don't put the puppies out there. So yeah, use the CGI dog.
Even if he's a Kryptonian dog that's, stronger than we'll ever be. Like the only dog in the world that could rival Crypto is Ham Pucko.
Oh, that's true.
because Han Popo is like, never mind. We're not going to talk about that. But anyway,
Yeah. And see, but going back to that, like I said, I'm a Snyder fan. I'm not a tribalist Snyder fan though.
you are not
Like
a cult.
I'm not gonna give anything a chance. It's got to be this or nothing at all. Like I never have been, because like I said, if I was that way, uh, Christopher Reeve, nobody could have replaced him in my eyes if that's how I was. And for a lot of people, the earlier versions that they watched, well, no,
Until Tyler for you.
yeah, Tyler. Well, I've said before, George and Christopher are on their own thing. There's nothing that touches either one of them. But of the 2000s and on, Tyler Hoechlin has become my favorite on-screen representation of Clark and Superman. The heart that he has, not just in his Superman, but in his Clark Kent,
Yeah.
just was amazing.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And then you go to Eddie, and he's the exact opposite about, what is it, Betsy Tulik's Lois.
Bitsy? Yeah.
Bitsy.
And again, that's fine. There's plenty of people, like, as much as I got you, Johnny. I've hung around you in chats enough to know who you're actually addressing. It's just sometimes when I hear Snyder fans, my brain just is like, but I'm a Snyder fan and I'm not like that. But you're good, man. No worries. Yeah, because I have a Lois Lane that I wasn't particularly fond of either, and it's not the actress's fault, but Kate Bosworth from Superman Returns was not my favorite. I think her name's Kate Bosworth. No, I'm not sure. Should have been Googling. Oh, it is.
Oh, it is? Okay. Never mind. No Google.
Yeah.
Bosworth or Boswell, one of the two.
Yeah.
I think you're right, though.
She wasn't my favorite. Now, it was no
Terry
fault
Hatcher.
of her own, but it just her Lois didn't connect with you. My favorite Lois so far was Erica Durant's on Smallville. That has been my favorite Lois. Like, I don't have a Lois that tops her just yet. It's Erica Durant's.
Terry Hatcher to me is the one that I like the least. Is it Terry Hatcher? Is that her name?
From Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then again, that whole show for me was kind of a bit of a dud.
I liked it. Dang, Lorena, tell me how you really feel. Wow, she's not a Bosworth fan in that movie. Best Lois, like Holt.
She's I cheered every time she wrecked on that surfboard.
Exactly. Johnny, I'm kind of hoping that. But again, knowing her from Marvelous Miss Maisel, I have no doubt that she's going to crush it as Lois.
Yeah.
Just how she was in that show.
Mm-hmm.
Holt is a fantastic actor, but I'm just gonna have to see.
Like Corn Sweat's the one that I have zero experience with him.
I've only seen him in Pearl.
I haven't seen him in anything.
And I don't even know what Pearl is. So
yeah, part of a horror trilogy. It's part of a horror trilogy. He wasn't in there for very long.
Yeah, like my only exposure to him so far has been obviously what we've seen in the trailers, and I watched him on a podcast one time, and he seems like a very cool guy and whatnot. But I think for him, not having any prior experience with him might help him a little bit, because then I don't have any kind of skewed view of him coming in at it. The thing I will say too, while I still don't love the suit, seeing it in some of the action scenes and him move around it, it's not as bad as when you're seeing it in some of still behind the scenes photos. So it's working for me a little bit. I still need to obviously see more, of the suit and what they're going to do with it. Sorry, where's my keyboard? But I don't hate the suit as much as I did at the beginning. I'm still not a fan of kind of how it's a little too loose. The logo is not my favorite, but for the most part, other than that, maybe it's because the more I see of David, he's just kind of winning me over. So I'm taking him as a whole. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, the thing about the suit for me is I'm not a fan of the new 52 suit, and this suit feels very new 52 inspired. Suit's not going to ruin the movie for me. It's just it's not for me, but it's going to be for someone. Like that's what I'm hoping. I know there's plenty of people out there that love this suit. Feels like best suit they've ever had. And Johnny, I got to agree with you. Like there's parts of the movie Man of Steel that I could forgive. The Jonathan dying in a tornado, didn't like that. Didn't like that. I can forgive the Zod neck snap. I know that's very controversial. I can forgive that. But first of all, I think Kevin Costner was a fantastic Paul Kent, but he didn't feel like Paul Kent.
No. It's weird in the way he acted. He was very much like Paul Kent mixed with John Dutton.
Yeah. Yeah, so I can agree. I can agree with you on that 100% because I was like, that just doesn't. It doesn't feel like something Jonathan Kent would say to Clark, you know, about the kids in the bus. Protect the secret at all costs, but don't let harm come to people. Like, again, it's not a knock on Kevin Costner at all. It's just how they wrote his character for that. And
Garfwan nailed that.
Kyle's not here, but Ed is. You're probably hearing Ed in the background. Make two. Yeah,
I think Garfwan nailed that. Yeah, if you bring Cavill back as an Injustice Superman, yes.
Yeah, I think I saw the plan in my head. That what they were going for with Henry. I just think, much like with Henry himself, they dragged their feet. First of all, killing him off in the second movie. I didn't like that either. No. But I think they took too much time, and they thought, you know, the 5 or 10 second scene in the end of Black Adam where the suit's brighter, you got the John Williams theme playing behind him, getting everybody hyped. He should have already been that Superman.
Yep.
In the first movie, for me, it should have been, you know, him struggling with his identity. And then BVS, to me, instead of BVS, it should have just been World's Finest instead of the two of them fighting. Like, it was just too early for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, make them fighting just a short part in the beginning and then go into something different where they team up and you build that bond.
Yeah. That's smart. That's smart. Nope, you write the next movie, man. You write the next movie.
It just felt like that drug on, and I don't hate that movie. I have rewatched it, but I was disappointed walking out of that one. Just like, really?
Yeah.
That's where they went with it?
The Ultimate Edition is a little bit better. It kind of clears some things up. Like
some filler stuff that maybe they cut out. That's what I feel like the Snyder cut is it's basically what they wanted to do, and then they just gutted it. And we got what we got.
Yeah.
But
Lorena, even something like, you know what? I forget that I'm the one running the show. Let me start popping comments up on screen. Yeah, like Public Enemies. That was a good one. You know, I'm not a movie writer, but the one real big knock I have, the one thing that, you know, I'm the person that's like, I defend these movies for what they are because I enjoyed them. The thing that I cannot defend in that movie, and I've talked about this before too, is the Martha scene. And that's because there's so many other things that they could have done there. You had Lois there. Clark Kent is not going to call his mother by her name. He's just not. He's just going to say, if I'm fixing to die, please save my mom. You know, you had Lois there to give you the exposition if you needed it. So when people make fun of that scene, I got to agree with them. Like, people saying, no, it's just deep and you didn't understand it. No, guys, it just wasn't a very well written scene. And this is coming from somebody that liked the movie.
Yeah.
So, you can like things and still nitpick them. Don't get too anal retentive about it. But there's things about all the movies that I've watched, even if I liked them, I can pick out stuff that I didn't like the Suicide Squad. I'd love to see what David Ayer actually planned before they had a trailer company cut the movie, because that movie feels like we're missing such a huge chunk of it. Like, it feels like every character got like a double introduction, and there's like rock music playing every other scene. Like Martha Ray Skywalker, jeez. But I don't know. All I know is that this Superman, same thing happened to the Son of the Mask. Oh Jesus, I forgot that was a movie. I try to forget that movie.
Is that with Jamie Kennedy?
Yes.
I've never seen that.
I'll pose it. This will be my last question for everybody here in the panel. What does Superman mean to you?
Hope.
Yeah, crickets.
No, Nope said something.
Oh, hope.
Hope.
Eddie?
I don't have any idea. Fun, I guess.
Look at it. Jay?
So, what Superman means to me is an ideal for humanity to strive towards. It's being good when good isn't the easiest thing to be. It's being that light in the darkness for someone. It's being that person that that doing the wrong thing would be an easier thing, quicker path to take, but you do the right thing. Like to steal from Daredevil, that scene with Hector where he kept repeating the line, why, when you have all this power, would you choose to do good? Because it's the right thing to do. Superman is that to me. He is the goodness that humanity should strive to be. So there's my answer.
It's that part. Jay kind of basically took everything I was going to say. But yeah, he is that beacon of hope. Like, if the world, I feel like if the world could look at themselves the way Superman does, we would be a better place. Because in a lot of ways, while yes, Superman is OP, omnipotent, however you want to put it, people I don't think realize how much power they have as an individual to ruin things. So I think if you could look at the world through that lens that he has and be that beacon of hope and just goodness, I really think that the world would be a heck of a lot better than it is right now. So
100%. So we're getting kind of close to winding down. Like I said, this was just a kind of show to cover for Nancy and them, who will be back next week in the 9 Eastern, 8 Central time slot for Friday Night Live. Want to remind you, like, share, comment, subscribe to the experience. Remember, this is my job channel for anybody, Johnny, because Johnny's the only new person here. Sorry to call you out, boss. This is my job. This is what I do for a living. There's other shows throughout the week on here. There's sales shows. We just had the original art show with Nick Barucci. If that name sounds familiar to anyone watching on a rewind, owner of Dynamite, producer on The Boys. So get to work with him every Friday as well.
one of the greatest human beings you'll ever meet.
Genuinely
great person.
People think that I just say this to say this. I mean this 100%. I love Nick.
I don't work for Nick, so I have no financial gain in this. Nick is genuinely one of the best human beings you will ever meet. Period.
Yep. And I don't work for Dynamite.
Yep. You work for Kyle.
Yeah. I do. Yeah, thank you, Make too. I really am. I'm excited. Johnny, thanks for showing up, man. Like I said, I see you on Slav's Free Talk
Right
there,
here?
and I see you.
Lorena?
Who's the guy in the red trunks, the green arrow?
Hold on.
Is that the Finn Balor?
Yes. So,
Yeah.
Lorena, I'm a big wrestling fan. So this is a Finn Balor picture that my cousin got me when he went to an NXT event. That is an actual signature he got from Finn at the event. So it's just something I keep and I put up pretty much anywhere I'm living. So this is always, you can ask Jay, ever since I got this has been hung up everywhere. So it's just something that means a lot to me that my cousin got. Finn's just been one of my favorite wrestlers for years. So
Before we end, since Ed wasn't here,
oh yeah,
hold on just a second.
Oh, brother.
There you go.
Oh, nice.
oh okay.
It is. You just wait till we're done with the stream, man. You're gonna knock on
Yeah, we're so Ed, here's my big thing.
Oh, cool.
This is apparently a 2025 edition.
Oh, cool.
Dust cover.
Yep. Now, this is the only
That
cover they
Summer
had.
of Superman comic is really good. I read it today.
Did you?
Oh, did you?
man.
Okay.
Oh, it's really good. I didn't know if that's what you were going to want to talk about or what, but that was really good.
Oh, trust me, we still got a whole other show tomorrow.
Oh, Lorena's a wrestling fan. Boom.
And no spoilers or anything, but it reminds you a lot of a certain show I fell in love with, and it's almost like a continuation of it.
Now
It's
super
really good.
super excited.
All right, I'm gonna come over there and steal it from Jay now.
Steal it from me, okay. Remember, I don't know if Ed, you were here. Nope actually picked up that Superman Smashes the Klan.
No way.
Mhm.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I seen it on the shelf, and I was like, I know that book.
Yeah, I'm super excited to hear what you think about it. Like, to me, as an alternate kind of 1940-ish, I think it's 30s or 40s.
Okay.
Just having that, he doesn't fly, he still just runs everywhere in the suit. Just the art in the book is awesome. So, folks, real quick before we wrap up, make sure you go and support your local comic shop if you have one near you. If not, use the experience as your LCS. This is a great community we have here. I don't just say that because I work here. I genuinely love this channel. And
He was a fan before he was an employee.
yep, I was a fan before I worked here. Yes, TJ, I need to actually buy it myself. I read it by, as I like to call it, nefarious means, but it was a really good book, and I need to get it for myself too. If you happen to be traveling, make sure you check out comicshoplocator.com. Put in the area, no, not the area code. See, Kyle always messes me up with that. The zip code of the place you're going to be in to find comic shops around you, and make sure you call the store first, though, because Google's not always correct with the with the times of the store. You don't want to show up to a store and be angry because they're closed because the comic shop locator said they were open. Yeah, I've done that quite a few times in my day.
Oh, you kill me, Nope. I
And
swear.
to follow along with Kyle's
I was
field,
not expecting that one.
to follow along with Kyle's field, just remember, if you do go to your LCS, even one book a day makes a big difference.
Yeah, spend an extra $5 if you can.
Yep.
Let's
Or
see.
spend like 80, like we did today, if you just want to have a good day.
True. But we are, like I said, we're getting close to wrapping up. I got to do the other work stuff. Remind everybody, I don't think, because it's Easter Sunday, there's going to be no sales show from the producers. So no sales show for me and Kyle. And Make Two, you're always welcome, man. It's not putting up with you. Always love having you on. everyone enjoy your Easter if you celebrate. And then come back Monday at 6 Eastern, 5 Central for Comic Collectibles with Rex, John, and Rock and Robbie. Always a fun show. There's sometimes we talk more than we show comics, but we always get through the comics. It just takes a while. Might be a break before we get into the books. And then sometime in there, and I don't know the exact times, but Kyle plans on doing a sales show on CBSN. So make sure that you're kind of in that group. I think that's the only way you get notified, unless we tag you in it, I guess.
Yeah.
Then later that night at 11 Eastern, 10 Central, we got Best Coast Comics with Bronze Age Nerd and Big Big McFly. Want to thank everybody for being here today. And just before we leave, I just want to go around, and we'll start with Ed since he's the disembodied voice. You got any final thoughts about Superman and Superman Day?
I always love Superman. Wishing nothing but the best. Hope the movie's a big explosion this summer, and all this nonsense whining and fighting can stop over it, because I'm getting real sick of it.
100%.
100%. The voice from above is spoken.
How about you, Sean?
Honestly, this is the first time I've gotten to celebrate Superman Day, because I'm almost always at work, kind of like you. So we were lucky enough to get to experience it this year. It's fun. It's fun to get to celebrate your superheroes, but now I'm kind of sad that I don't have a Daredevil Day. But either way,
Triple D.
This has been fun for sure.
I can think of a couple good reasons for. Never mind.
It's been fun. It's been fun to do stuff. I mean, I love it when comic shops get a chance to do some kind of special event, because we as fans inevitably went out. I mean, today alone was a good example of that. We went out, and there's a lot of cool stuff that we probably never would have been able to get otherwise. So, go enjoy the movie. I don't care if you say you're going to hate it. Go like it.
Nope. How about you, man?
I'd just say don't start talking trash about it until you've seen it, because even if you've only seen the trailer could have been put together real bad anyways. The movie could be great. You never know. But if you go see it, then you can say whatever you want. But I'm somebody who's big on don't talk crap unless you know what you're talking about, and if you haven't seen it, then you don't know what you're talking about. So
for sure,
see it first.
Okay.
Also, want to thank Nope for being the only person here dressed up. I didn't know we were dressing up, Nope, but
next year I'll bring in the wig and everything. We'll just go at it.
Well, you both had the Superman shirt in the thumbnail, so I was like, well, at least need to have the shirt.
I
have one Superman shirt and it's not clean. I was like, I wanted to go try to find a shirt somewhere, but I was like, guarantee everywhere I'm going to go, they're nobody's going to have just a Superman shirt on demand.
Yeah, I'll have it washed for tomorrow. And again, Nope, Ed, y'all are more than welcome to join the show tomorrow. We'll talk some more, go a little bit longer there. I guess Sean can come on if he feels like it.
I don't know. I mean, y'all are all right, but no Benetti or you whatever. Go to bed.
Now hold on, because I'm gonna put it on screen.
Yeah, we're holding it to that one.
Oh boy,
we're holding you to that one.
Exactly. No pressure though. No pressure. Whenever you want. It's an open invitation. Love to have everybody here on there. Like, if Make 2 one day was like, hey man, can I come on and be on the show? Absolutely. TJ, anybody.
It's fun.
Yeah, we have a good time. But all right,
controlled chaos that can go for 4 hours. What else can you ask for?
That can go. Normally goes. If y'all go less than 3.5, I'm wondering if somebody was sick and had to leave.
Right. No, it just means Jenna brought good food home.
Yeah. That too. Well, my final thoughts is this is a character that I love. I I'm excited that people are excited for him. It feels like it's been forever. Just I can't wait. July feels. Oh man, Joey, you're showing up right when we're ending, but thank you, man. Good to see you. Go check out, go check out Joey Galvez, man. PR extraordinaire right there.
Yes.
Got
Not to
some
mention
cool
he's
stuff
coming
going on.
out with a lot of his own comics nowadays too. Go check out his stuff. He's got some great ideas.
Yeah. But I guess outside of that, telling everybody have a good night. And always be sure, I know the slogan is look up, but I'm going to tell you, like I always say, look up in the sky. Later, everybody.
Join the party. Head over to our Linktree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.